Here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus. And the day as you are in the Academy of Wildman, as I spoke to you before, it's not up yet, but it's going to be. I'm actually preparing it for you if it's not already available for you. As spoken in audio is called Frankly Speaking. Frankly Speaking. As in being direct with you, honest, straightforward, and real talk, man to man, or can I say women, man to woman as well, if you just so happen to be a woman listening to me. Or I could say man to kid, if you are in that circle and you listen to this while you're next to your father, in your front room, or playing your PlayStation. But here it is. I'm going to speak directly to you about several subjects. But before I begin, ladies and gentlemen, the Wildman Effect here of this academy, you know you are in the Academy of Wildman. I got a wow for you today. And I'm going to draw some lines here and give you some advice that you may already know, but you probably tolerate. I got a zero tolerance policy, and I don't judge a person by the way that they look. I identify them, I evaluate them, and I can situate their potential by what they do. However, I've done a lot of studies about the physical psychology of a person, how they act, how they flinch, how they carry themselves, how they dress. I can do that quite well. I can pretty much judge a person's aptitude and oftentimes ability just by the way that they are. And I do my best to stay away from it because you never, and again, like with my audio, I created an audio called What is Alpha, right? And in there I say you don't judge a person by their appearance, all right? And usually I do not do that myself. I practice what I preach. But oftentimes in psychology, there are some traits and an attitude that a person can wear on their sleeve. And it's obvious if you know how to look in the right places. It's almost like if you know if a person is angry. How do you know this? Oftentimes, if they're outside and they're in front of a car, it could be theirs or somebody else's, and they're kicking the car and they're cursing and yelling and screaming, and you can see that there are bang marks on the side of the car. Obviously, this person is angry. You see what I mean? You're not judging that person. You are evaluating the situation with obvious signs. Got it? But there are some other things that I'm not going to get into because I know some of you may take it personally. I can't discuss it in this audio because a lot of you may do it and you're going to be upset. There is a zombie-like facial feature. There are things that some men do that I know of personally when I'm hanging out with them, and they don't know that I'm able to detect this from them. I can't tell you what it is, but I will tell you that it's a facial feature that some guys do that let me know that their brain is far away from their actions or whatever that they talk about what they're doing. And so what I've done, maybe in the future I'll share it with you. I wrote down a list of these type of personalities and facial features, and I did a little test myself to see if I'm correct about their behavior. So what I usually do is ask them questions such as who is God, what is life, what's going on in the country, what is the state, what do you think about women, how do you feel about women, what is the church doing nowadays, what is your idea on the Christianity, Baptist church, Presbyterian, what is your angle on these subjects? And pretty much they're able to answer the question, and when they do, I tether the pieces together, such as what they're saying, what they think is right and wrong versus, again, their facial features, their body language. And with their body language says a lot. And then usually that becomes the common, meaning that same person or so let's say that same body language would be the same for another individual, and they will all answer the same question with the same body language. You got what I'm saying? There are some body languages, like when a person walks around with their mouth open. Now, this is one of the things that some people may be offended about, because you may do it yourself, and you must know this is for research and facts. And this is things that I've taken time to and to study myself and to see if I was wrong or right. But this type of facial feature, this type of body language, usually is when your mind it's not there. It's no different than a cartoon character or an animation character. When they are shocked or they're surprised or they're so focused on what they're doing, they're not paying attention that their mouth is open, that they're walking around like a Venus flytrap. They're just open, where any fly, any bug, any air can just go into their mouth, and they're just standing there like Hubba Bubba. All right. In my evaluation and once again, psychology training and comprehension of this particular feature and body language, I stayed away from it because I wanted to figure out if it was accurate. And most times, more than half of the time, when there's a dumb question, when there's a question that's answered or thrown at them, there's usually going to be a dumb answer. There's usually going to be an ignorant, weak, soft-handed, pathetic response from that person, because their mind is not completely there. And then, of course, the answer is clear to begin with by their body language. However, I went a little bit further with this and got into a debate. And what I mean by debate is I called a group meeting, just for a conversation with 5 different people. In the room, there was 4 guys and 1 lady. 2 of the guys was religious. 2 of the other guys was kind of like on the fence. And the girl was a whatever type of girl, right? Whatever she felt like, whatever she thought of was basically on her own end. And we began to talk about God and some of the subjects that I discuss with you. But I'm a very basic guy. And what I mean by basic, I have the ability to ask you a question, and sometimes you won't know why, but it has a lot to do with you as an individual. It tells me more about you than what you think you know about yourself. And I'm able to determine where the conversation is going to go. It's a very genius thing, but most people do not catch on to it because they don't know themselves. Oftentimes, you'll be amazed how many people you discuss or you have a conversation with daily who think they know something. They go by politics. All they know how to do is talk about sports. They're good with telling you everything about what's going on the dumb box, which is television. They go along with the program, but when it comes to them personally, they know nothing. They are very haphazard, and they go along with the program. They will accept anything that a stranger or person shovel at them, and they'll never question it. These type of people are particularly illogical, and they will always end up in a compromised situation because they don't own up to anything. And when it comes to being accountable, they're always going to blame the problem on the next person and not themselves for making bad decisions and accepting the wolves in sheep's clothing in fancy words and fancy systems. So I asked one of the guys in the group, who just so happened to be that particular person, lips all big and open, all humglum. The conversation was always, he would talk, but at the end of his reply, his mouth would just sit open. It's almost like when you talk to somebody and they're dumbfounded. They're dumbfounded and their mouth is just drawn open. And one of the questions that was given to him was, do you play chess? You play chess, right? Something very simple. And his response was, no, I could never get a hold of the game, or I never could figure out how to play the game and how the pieces move, but I'm good at checkers. And I threw something else at him. I said, so what's the difference between checkers and chess? Right? And guess what? Guess what, Neo? Guess what? He said there isn't a difference between checkers and chess. This is what the gentleman said, with the one sitting down with his mouth open and with a dumb puzzled look on his face. And then the most interesting part about this that really got pretty much everybody in the room staring at him. He thought it was being impressive by asking me, oh, have you ever heard about double jumping? Back jumping, double jumping? I couldn't respond because it seemed like I was talking to a child at the time. I had to put my head down, my forehead in the palm of my hands, and shake my head, because I begin to regret inviting this guy to the table. I begin to regret immediately. I thought the two other religious guys were going to be just as mindless and useless to this conversation as he was, but it seemed like this gentleman, he needed help. He needed help, and whatever so-called invincible shadow powers and candles and prayers and so-called miraculous miracles that these two religious guys believe in, that would have been the time for them to turn around and lay hands on this guy and pray for him. So, double jumping? I was going to say, that door over there in the corner? You go ahead and turn that handle clockwise and leave, because you're not a man. You don't belong here. But I was patient for a while, actually, and thought about this. The girl said, yeah, I know how to play chess. I was like, oh, really? So I lift my leg up and I let it rest on my knee. I said, so you know how to play chess. What are the pieces? Oh, you got the rook, the knight, the bishop, the pawn, the queen. Moves all over the board. The king moves one spot. I even know about canceling. And en passant, I was like, oh, wow, interesting. I'm still looking at this guy over here with his mouth open. And I'm taking notes, and he have no idea that they are in an evaluation. Have no idea that Morpheus isn't stupid. That Morpheus is actually evaluating them for study purposes. And for you, my viewers, for you, Neo, out here, so you can get what's going on here. Right? But let's progress forward. Let's progress forward for a moment here. We also had a discussion about, I know a lot of you don't like this as well, and it may be a gut punch for you, or maybe like when you're trying to walk and somebody tripping you to make you fall on your face. It may seem like that, but it is contrary to it. This is a lesson here. When it comes to women and having guy friends, right? See, Brother Lycus told me two things. Yes, Brother Tom Lycus told me two very valuable things that I will keep forever. Blessed honors to that big brother of mine. He said, number one, in his studies, women are dream killers. Right? Number two, never date a woman with multiple guy friends, or specifically guy friends. They are just wolves waiting to move in. They are just guys waiting for their turn, or they have already had their turn and she is not willing to let them go. And I'm gonna get to that in just a moment, and I'm gonna do my best to explain that and minimize the length of this audio as best as I can. But I would tell you this. Two of the men out of the group said that they do have at least 5 or 6 different female friends. And of course, one of them was the religious guy. The other one was the guy with the mouth open. Now, this guy with the mouth open, he's 6 feet. How many inches? I think he's 6'3", 6'4", or something like that. So he's the average tall, dark, and handsome guy that a lot of the, I would call them, misguided women of America is interested in just because he's tall. I didn't say all of them. I said the misguided women of America, the ones who don't comprehend logic, thinking that this guy is of quality. But this is also the guy with his big lips and big mouth open, sitting there like he's staring at a TV screen, and he's so fascinated. This is his posture. Just imagine. Just think about that for a second, like a cartoon character. People are like this, and you meet these guys every day, and some women, mostly men, and sometimes you never understand, or you don't pay attention to it. You don't understand this person's a zombie. They're a zombie. Their mind is somewhere else. And as a matter of fact, if you tap them on their shoulder, or you say something like, "Hey, good morning. How are you doing?" It will take them a good 5 minutes to realize that you just said something to them. So their response is slowered and sluggish because their mind isn't in the right place. They're still trying to figure out where they are. They need a map. They need a GPS under their skin. Or let's go further. They need the mark of the beast underneath their skin to tell them who they are. You got me? They need a program to help them in the program of the Matrix because they are programmable. They don't know where they are, so they just go along with the program. They're the type of person who will run to the wall and keep walking into the wall and not figure out where the door is. Like a bumper car, just sitting there bumping against the wall. Yeah, it goes that deep. You may think that this is a bash to people that walk around like that. You will be wrong, because it actually goes that deep, and probably even more complex than how I am describing it to you. But let's go further than this. All right. And again, that's just general. Not everyone, but most of the time in the research, most of the time, more than half of them, when they are in that sort of, I consider it significant sign of absent-mindedness by body coding, as I like to call it, and reading their body language, most times that is accurate. And when you judge their intelligence or try to, interface with them with any significant subject, you're going to have a problem with them, and they're going to say something stupid. They're going to do something stupid, mindless, and probably even forget that they even had a conversation with you. So you're wasting your time by not reading body language. However, let's go further than this. Let's go further. All right. So that same guy said, yeah, he had like 5 or 6 different girlfriends himself. And of course, some of you do this as well. You think there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. So apparently he don't know anything about Tom Likas. Apparently this 6 feet tall, 3 moron, backwards walking type of dude who needs a muzzle. Apparently he don't really know himself, nor do he have any idea about a woman's nature, the common woman's nature. Not all of them. Okay. The majority of them, their nature to need validation, their nature to always, try to steal base. They keep their foot on the mound that they are at, and they try to steal the next base and make sure that it's safe to do so before they detach themselves from where they are. It's almost like spider webbing. Where they don't want to, they're not going to immediately detach themselves from you unless they know specifically where they are going is secure. So for a short amount of time, they'll have 2 boyfriends, but they'll tell you, listen. They'll tell you, yeah, this is my new boyfriend, or this is my boyfriend. This guy right here is my friend. Okay, in her mind, in her little bitty mind, okay, she wants to convince herself that that's her friend, but that's her ex-boyfriend who is still her boyfriend. You got me? Because should things go wrong, she needs a backup plan. There's a thing called hypergamy. And I asked this guy that question as well. You will be surprised. When I asked him, I said, do you know what hypergamy is? One of the religious guys on the far left side, he turned around and said, "Oh, I know exactly what that's all about." And he shook his head and he started covering his mouth with his hands. And he said, "Yeah, I understand what hypergamy is." And he explained it for a little while, right? Then when I turned to the guy with the big lips and the open mouth, I said, did you understand what hypergamy is? Have you heard of it? "Oh, I never heard of hypergamy till today." I knew this was going to be the end for this guy. I knew it was over by then. Okay, the conversation was going to go south. He is a liability to this beginning debate. A liability. All right. Hypergamy is mostly used in those situations where girls have guy friends, because women aren't usually going to be single and they're not usually going to be alone. These guys who are guy friends, they are actually in her Charlotte's Web, as I like to call it. The Charlotte's Web is, here's how the Charlotte Web works, and I need you men to understand this. The Charlotte's Web is, she gets you. You think you got her. That means when you score, when you donkey dunk, you're thinking, "Oh yes, oh good, I scored a point for me and my manhood." That's what you think. What you don't know is, no, she scored you and your dumb, weak blue pill behind. She scored you. And how you know this over time, how it is in evidence, is because she will leave her web there with you. What spiders do, not only do they create a web, let's understand the spider for a second, then you can get a clear view. What spiders do is they create this web from attaching to a surface, and they continue to web it everywhere. And they won't let go of that item. All right. And what happens is she will get her prey, and that prey is stuck in the web. But usually she's not going to go immediately and devour this prey. She's going to let that prey sit there for a while she is jumping on to something else. Okay, you got it? Or why another fly gets caught in it, another bug, a ladybug, whatever it is, maybe even a bee. Pretty much all these little flying insects get caught into her web. She's not going to immediately go to each one of them. She's going to take her time and continue to web it. It's called security. When she talks about security, let's go a little deeper than this. For her, that's security. So should the bridge break, she have somebody else to go back to. But let's go further, because this gets kind of complicated and I don't want it to be. What that web is, for you men who don't understand, the connection between man and woman is different per man and woman, because we are different. For a man, he thinks that scoring with a woman is what love is all about, or intimacy, or winning the chalice. You got it? Or spoiling the oats. For a woman, the emotional investment is her form of scoring and donkey dunking. When you're standing there and you're making this girl feel a certain way, you scored. If she's laughing, you're scoring. When she's having a good time around you and she feels comfortable around you, men, she's scoring. That's her satisfaction. That's her social power. That's how she gets off. You men get off a different way, not like her. She don't have to be with you in the bedroom in order to score with you. She scores with you by standing there in your face and having a very good, intimate conversation. Do you get this? So what happens is, when you think that the relationship is over and you done donkey dunking and you let this girl go, actually she let you go, but she still has something on you, and it's called emotional investment, history, or what some people like to say, what do you call that? Can't find out what it is. Value. Emotional value. And therefore, she will not, on a typical basis, just immediately let you go. She's going to go to another guy. She might end up with another boyfriend. But when you are in a case where you're like, she'll say, oh, let's just be friends. Uh-oh, here we go. Let's get down to the deep details of this, of what friend is, since you don't understand sometimes. Okay. The definition of friend for a woman and a man is different. Okay. I have a different opinion and a speculation and study about what it should be. For me personally, all right, there's only two options that this girl have to be in front of me. First of all, I would ask her what type of relationship you're interested in. That's the first thing. I'm already going to take the lead anyway. It don't matter what she say. I just want to figure out what her directions are. Therefore, I'm not confused and I know what time of day it is, and I can take her wherever she is desiring. Okay, and tell her what is going to be thereafter. So either she is going to be a, what do you call that? A temporary fling. If that is the agreement, that she is going to be a donkey dunk favor or a partner, fair enough. Okay. And the second thing, if she's going to be my girl, that's it. Either she's going to be my girl, or if we're not going to be serious, if we're not going to be committed 100%, then I know what time of day it is. Then when she knocks on the door, or when the doorbell rings, or when she give me that phone call, I know what type of day it is. I know what time it is. She knows what time it is when I pick up the cell phone and ring her. She knows what Morpheus wants. Simple as that. But the friend thing here, that is usually a woman dynamic. Whether you men like it or not, that is her thing. That's for her comfort. That's for her intimacy. Women have friends like that. Men should have a different dynamic and idea of what a friend is. You can be a friend with a man. Men can be friends with men. You got men who you golf with, you ride your bikes with, right? You wrestle with, you work out with, whatever that y'all do, you got men for that. But for a woman to be your friend, you don't understand that she's playing a different dynamic. For you, you may think because you blue pill and soft, you'll say, oh, she's my friend. No, in your mind, because you're feminized, you're soft. To her, it is her web that she is investing in, and it is her power that is using you. You think you're using her. You think you at an advantage, buddy. You are at a disadvantage. She plucked you. You didn't pluck her. Okay, she put you on your back and on your hands and your knees. You didn't do her that way. You thought you did. All right. And in order to secure her web on your blue pill soft beta mind, she will say, oh, we are just friends. You got it? Huh? Is your peach fuzz growing a little bit? Therefore, what you don't understand is a woman who is never alone is because her web is there. You don't know anything about it. She could be talking to a guy across town, across the street, her neighbor, right? All on her Instagram, her Facebook page. Right after y'all break up with each other, she already has a few men who's already in her web. So what she's doing is she's securing her life. She's securing her life. And when she gets done burning up her options with the other guys that are in her web, guess what, buddy? Guess what? Guess what, Chad? Hey, little boy. Hey, Chad, pay attention over here, child. Hey, look at the big man over here. Check this out. Then she's going to come to you. Then she'll call you up 3 years later, 1 year later, or a month later. I can't stop thinking about you. You remember the time we used to, or something like this. What are you doing today? Or I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. What are you doing next week? Hi, I just want to say, how are you doing? What's up? And you're thinking, oh, wow, here's my friend. Ooh, I haven't heard from a long time. What's going on with Oh, I'm winning. No, you lost, Beta. Beta, you lost. And you're still losing. You are obligated to your manhood to direct it. Listen, and this is the sick thing about it is because some of y'all don't get it yet. All right. Don't forget, you're an academy of Wildman. And this is what it is. If you don't like it, okay, take your uneducated self to a different channel. I really don't care. I don't need a beta blue pill man here. No, excuse me, boy here anyway. I speak to men. If you're not a man, please leave. You are obligated to your own masculinity to direct the relationship to say, listen, baby, what is it going to be? Don't call me if you want to just play around and hang out. I got boys for that. You understand? I got guys I can play Madden football with. I got guys who we can go riding together. You understand? We can go out of town, go on trips. You understand? We can play poker. We can play card games, solitaire. Well, not solitary, but spades. You know, we can go to the club and laugh at other people while we have a wine glass in our hand and just chill out and talk about politics and stock marketing and investing, right? The global affair. We can do that. What do I need you for? To talk about what? What is there to talk about? What are we going to talk about? I am a man. You are a woman. You understand? We attach. I'm the dominator here. I'm the alpha male. When you come around, you know what's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation with you about politics unless you're like 56, 65, 49, right? 41 years old, 35 years old. Yeah, you talk about politics. You'll talk about what's going on in the government. You'll talk about the climate change. You'll talk about what's going on in your neighborhood, stuff like that. But no. If you of any potential, and I'm a man, you're a woman. If you are of any potential to be a great asset or donkey dunk, if you have the potential to do that, young enough, bright enough, big-eyed enough, why would I want to sit there and talk to you about anything? I'd rather show you than to talk to you. Don't talk to me about anything. Talk to me with action. And at the same time, it should be the same as you men. What is it going to be? Therefore, you're not sitting there. Let's go further with this. Let's go further. If you are this type of guy who's like, oh, I got a lot of female friends, you are attributing to something that I'm going to bring to your awareness in just 1 second here. Because I'm going to take a sip here. Hold on for a moment. You are attributing to the system of debauchery, faithlessness, discontent, and non-virtuous women. Let me tell you how. All right? Let me tell you how. Let's say that I'm this guy who's with a woman that you used to be with. Let's put it like that for a moment, right? It's not going to happen that way, but I'll tell you this. If it was, and you are her friend, you're her best friend, okay? And what would happen is she'll say, oh, well, Morpheus, here's my friend over here named, Chris. This is my friend Chris. This is how she would present it to me. This is what she would say. Well, I know Chris since high school or since grade school. Yeah, we hooked up on Facebook again, and he's all right. He's cool. Basically, like what Tom Likas said, you don't have to worry about Chris, right? And you're this guy, you this blue pill beta, right? And you had a spin. You had the spin of her once upon a time. She know that you have had the spin of her once upon a time. You're her ex-boyfriend. And as a matter of fact, you're still her boyfriend. You're just on the web and only called a friend as a fake title. But because you are still in her life, you are still her boyfriend. You're just on the back burner. You're just stuck on the web. I'm her new prey. Do you understand? So how could you be a man? Listen, how could you be a man or an adult are responsible enough to sit there and let her do another man like that and not speak up and say, oh, no, 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 I'm the ex, or herself saying, no, this is my ex-boyfriend and we're just so happen to be friends. Don't worry about him. You know why y'all not going to say that? You know why she's not going to tell me that you are actually her ex-boyfriend? Because she know I am not going to tolerate it. And as a blue pill beta, you yourself should not tolerate that. But you can be so dumb sometime and childish where you know what you'll say? Oh, well, he's okay with it, so I'm still going to be in her life as her friend, and he needs to just get over it. Okay, so wait a minute. Wait. Pump your brakes. Shut your mouth and pump the brakes. If you can't pump your brakes, get the hell out of here. Pump it right now and shut the up. Right now. Listen. If you ever sit there and say, well, if she's going to get rid of me as her friend because she wants to be with a new boyfriend, she's wrong. Okay, let's reverse this then. So you are the guy and you got this new girlfriend who is with her ex-boyfriend, but she's still with him because she's calling him her friend, but she's actually just holding on to him should you fail. So you're saying that that's an all right situation. So basically you are okay. You're okay to be only a part of the circle. Why don't y'all just go ahead and just get together? Listen, okay, you want to be dumb like that. Why don't all three of y'all just make a family? Both of you and her. How about that? All right, you want to be so weak and childish. Why don't you go ahead and say, well, let's both of us be her boyfriend then. Right? And you go ahead and get with him while he's getting with her, and y'all be happy for the rest of your life, because that's how dumb and childish it is. You are to detach yourself from that person. I do not stand by an ex-lover being a friend. Absolutely not. And guess what? Somebody who's an opposite sex to you and they are a friend, I don't tolerate that either. Even if you say, oh, we've been together for a long time and he's cool, don't worry about him. You know what the thing is? How come I'm not your friend? Okay. Yes, men cannot be a friend like a female friend. You should have female friends like what Tom Likas was talking about. What's the problem with her having female friends? Listen, it's a lot of information. And I know I seem like I'm jumping from subject to subject, but this is a lot to eat. It's like eating a very, very thick steak. And when you do that, your jaws get tired. Okay, but you want the steak. So I'm trying to be careful here. If she cannot be friends with females, with her own kind, if she can't have female friends, but all she have is male friends, that's a sign right there that you need to run. All right, get what you want from this girl and close the deal. Close the deal and keep it moving. Because this girl is going to be a problem for you. And the moment you check her on and say, no, I'm not going to get with you because you have boyfriend number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. She'll say, those not my boyfriend. Those are my friends. Okay, what child or immature emotional individual know that there are wolves standing around them in man clothing? They're wolves to her. Oh, they're my friend. No, they're wolves waiting for the opportunity. And she knows it. You want to know why? Guess, I'm going to tell you why. The web is not only emotional, it's called validation. It's called validation and attention. Attention is her currency, men. Do you not get it? It's her currency. No matter how much of an alpha or red pill or dude you think you are, how much you make in a month or a year, attention is her currency. So she's going to secure that and put a stamp on it and say, oh, well, they will never understand because men are retards anyway. So I'm just going to say they're my friends. And most of the blue pill, loft-handed, soft, backwards walking, twisted tie, smelly, bad breath looking dude is going to say, okay. No, here we go. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, if that's the only way for me to be your boyfriend, okay, I'll sign up. Okay, Bert. You're a dummy, and somebody should tell you. Anyhow, as I can continue, I cannot because I have to finish this subject and it's already getting out of hand 40 minutes. All right. And I hate to disappoint you as your professor here, but this is too much. And if you're upset, too bad, because I really cannot give you the left hook on this like I want to because it's too much. I have to be honest with you, Neo. It's too much for me to talk about right now. It's too much. So there's no need to debate or get upset because this is a lot. But when she says that, well, when you say you're okay with her having guy friends, okay, most likely you have girlfriends and you don't mind catching STDs. All right. You don't mind her if she is, when she gets tired of you and she's not happy with you, for her to be with her ex-boyfriend in the name of being a friend and come back to you with a seed in her womb and seeds everywhere else in her mouth and give it to you because you're dumb, because you are immature. That's what you're saying, because you're doing the same thing, right? This is how we are at a sick pace in our communities and in America because y'all mindless. Okay, donkey dunking is not worth it. The thing is about me and my standing is, if listen, the whole point is safety. Do you got it? It's safety. Put a stamp on it. That's the whole point. And do not trust them. You can't trust them. They was proven to be wrong. They've been proven over the years. It has been evidence up to your eyeballs that if they're telling you this is my friend, 9 times out of 10, they already had fun. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to be boyfriend number 2 that's going to come up right behind you and share her with you. Therefore, all bets should be off of the table. Absolutely not. Only boys who never grew up with a father in their lives will be comfortable with that. No, you cannot be a friend to her like a female can be a friend to her, but being a guy friend, that's what you are for. If she can't be with you riding on your sissy bar Harley Davidson, if she can't be sitting nicely quietly while she's sipping on her Long Island iced tea when you out there at a pub shooting pool with the fellas, if she can't be quiet and figure out something to do at home while you are there playing chess or whatever that you're doing with your homeboys in the front room or Madden or Halo or whatever the hell you do, okay, she's not the one for you. Because guess what? What is she going to want from you 24 hours, 7 days a week? Attention. Focus on me. Attention. Take me somewhere. Why don't you do for me? Do for me. Do for me. Do for me. Do for me. You should be the man and say, what are you going to do for me? Well, I'll grease my knees. I'll grease my knees. You got 30 minutes. Like, no, baby, sweetheart. That's nice, but you know what? I can actually get somebody to do that if I wanted them to. And I can make several phone calls. I can make my way around it. I need a little bit more than that. How about being honorable and virtuous and consistent? Why not just chill and just be here? Huh? Why not just be my girl friend who's really my girlfriend and be committed without me needing to play a clown for you and putting a clown nose on and taking you around town and spoiling you like every other guy who have come before me have done. Because some of you guys will understand too, a woman is like like putty for a minute. Before she matures, she's like putty. So when she comes to you, she expects for you to do what her ex-boyfriends have done. She expects for you to be just like him. And therefore, she'll come to you with guidelines and rules and regulations and what you are supposed to be doing as a man. And because all you want to do is score, you will go along with it. And what she'll do is warp you and web you just like she did them, and call you up 5 months later or a year later or you hang out with her and all you are is just some type of partner for her while she's continuing playing with her web until time runs out, until the wall hits, until another bigger bird or a bigger bug come along and take her off the web altogether. And you never see her again. The problem with these situations is that men support it. Blue pill guys like that big lip guy sitting in the chair with his mouth open and the so-called religious bigot, twisted piety of a dude, right? Supporting bad behavior, but that they call themselves men. Oh yeah, I'm tough. Yeah, man, no, I'm the head of my house. Be like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not even the head of your situation. You have no idea what you are in. You got to stamp it, because if you do not apply the rules to it, you will find yourself with the itchy scratchy. You will find yourself in a bad situation. What you're doing is you're allowing the enemy to seep in one step at a time. The enemy to be in your life 1 inch at a time, to encroach on your relationship. Oh yeah, I got guy friends. Oh yep, okay, the doors are open. They're going to encroach, and eventually they're going to take over your kingdom, and you'll never know why. The enemy is not going to come in with obvious weapons drawn in your face. They're going to come in an inch at a time underneath a different name, a different title, and undetectable. Undetectable. But if you are Neo and you are in your manhood zone and you got instincts, you can see them before they even approach. This is my fitness instructor. He wants to take me this weekend and show me extra exercises on the weekend. You should be the man, be like, nah, wait a minute. No, I don't think so. And guess what? The guy will come to you and shake your hands, right? And he seemed like this old nice blue pill beta guy with glasses on and a suit, thinking, oh, well, he's not like me. She'd never be interested in that guy. But the moment she get the opportunity, that black widow is going to strike. And you're going to find yourself alone, and she's going to be taking you and the kids away from you, and she'll be with that fitness instructor. And you're the dumb donkey who don't know anything all over again, because you didn't and you could not find your man card because you're too childish. Follow me on part 2. I didn't mean for this to be too long, but I told you it's a lot. I've already gave you forewarning ahead of time. Follow me on part 2. Got me? And we will finish this lesson in the Academy of Wildman.